The richest man in history wasn't American, European, or even Asian. He was African. His name, Mansa Musa. His fortune, $400 billion today. That's 4 times Elon Musk's wealth combined. But what you're about to discover will completely shatter your view of history. While Europe lived in medieval mud, Africa housed 5 empires so wealthy they made all European kingdoms look poor. The craziest part, this happened 300 years before Columbus reached America. The next minutes will rewrite everything you learned in school. Picture the year 1300. While European kings fight in damp castles over gold coins, Africa radiates unimaginable wealth. 5 African empires control more riches than all of Europe combined. Their secret: they're sitting on the world's largest reserves of gold, salt, and precious stones. Today we'll break down their fortunes and understand why this history was erased from textbooks. Let's start with the most spectacular, Mali and Mansa Musa. In 1324, Mansa Musa, Emperor of Mali, crosses the Sahara with 80 camels carrying 300 pounds of pure gold each. That's 10.8 tons worth $650 million today, just for his pilgrimage. His empire spans 1.2 million square kilometers, larger than France, Germany, Spain and Italy combined. Their gold mines produce 2,200 pounds annually, half the world's gold. Meanwhile, France's King Philip is so broke he robs the Templars. Mansa Musa funds Sanka University, 25,000 students, 700,000 manuscripts. Harvard was founded 300 years later. When he distributes gold in Cairo, he crashes their economy for 12 years. One African king destabilized the entire Mediterranean. Before Mansa, there was the King Kush. 1,000 years before Mansa Musa, Kush built 255 pyramids versus Egypt's 118. They even conquered Egypt for a century. Kush controls trade between Africa and the Mediterranean for 14 centuries. Their Nubian gold becomes the global standard. Their capital, Meru, has over 200 blast furnaces. It's ancient Birmingham. They export weapons and tools to China, while Europe barely knows iron. Royal treasury, 110,000 pounds of gold, enough to buy all of Roman Gaul. Next up, Aksum Empire. The Aksum Kingdom was ruled by King Azana, 3rd century AD. While Rome crumbles, Aksum controls trade between 3 continents. Their port welcomes 500 ships monthly. Everything from Indian spices to Chinese silk passes through for a 30% tax. King Azana's palace has 75-foot granite columns carved from single blocks. Technology Europe, woe unmatched for 1,000 years. They adopt Christianity 50 years before Rome and extract 4,400 pounds of gold annually. Their fortune was estimated to $75 billion today. After Aksum, we meet Songhai. 15th century, the Songhai Empire spans 1.4 million square kilometers, larger than Rome at its peak. Capital Gao has 100,000 people, while Paris has 60,000 and London 40,000. They raise $200 million annually in taxes. Their army, 100,000 soldiers using tactics Europe won't learn until the 17th century. Timbuktu becomes the world's intellectual capital with 25,000 university students, when Europe's biggest has 1,500. Last but not least, Great Zimbabwe, 11th century. Great Zimbabwe builds 36-foot walls from 900,000 granite blocks without mortar, a feat Europe couldn't match for centuries. They control gold mines and Indian Ocean routes, producing 22,000 pounds of gold annually, while all Europe produces 6,600. Archaeologists found Chinese porcelain and Indian beads in their ruins. They traded globally when Europe only knew neighbors. Here are the numbers that hurt. Combined African Empire GDP, $315 billion to all medieval Europe, which is $180 billion. Africa was 75% richer. African cities: Timbuktu had Sarato's 1,000 people, compared to European cities: Paris, 60,000, London, 40,000. Mansa Musa carried more gold on one trip than all European kingdoms possessed combined. And you sure ask, why was this erased? When Europe colonized Africa in the 19th century, they needed justification. How do you enslave a richer, more advanced continent? Solution: rewrite history. Make people believe Africa had no history, no civilizations. The biggest lie in history. These 5 empires dominated the world for 1,500 years. Their innovations shaped our planet. This truth belongs to you now. Share it. Too few people know it. Like and subscribe for more hidden African history. Tell me in comments, which empire impressed you most? Next week we will see why Timbuktu had more books than all Europe and how it vanished overnight.